Hey guys, Kat here. Today I wanted to showcase a tweak that I found that can help your VALORANT feel more responsive, specifically like your keyboard and mouse inputs. So let's get to it. So first of all, you want to download this application called Process Hacker. Now, there is a newer version of this called System Informer. That's what it's got renamed to, but I prefer using Process Hacker because with Process Hacker, the tweak applies more consistently, and I'll show you what that means in a second. So yeah, you want to download this real quick, right? Yada yada. I'm not going to download it again because I already have it installed. So let's open Process Hacker. And as you can see, you have basically all these applications or all these applications running, right? This is basically like a task manager alternative, right? It gives you the ability to do like a lot more stuff on your PC. So yeah, it's pretty cool. First of all, you want to go here and go to advanced and uncheck this box. This box will be checked by default, I'm pretty sure, right? So yeah, you want to uncheck this box because of the fact that Vanguard does not like it when Process Hacker is running with a kernel mode driver or like any of these task manager alternatives in general. So you want to press OK after you uncheck this box, let it restart itself, and then you want to restart your PC, right? After you do that, you want to reopen this again, right? And then you go to DWM, search that up, and then you'll find this. Now you want to go into the properties, and as you can see, you have all these threads running in the background. They're all using different amounts of CPU, for example, and cycles delta is just how many cycles it's using on like average. I forget, I think something like that. So you want to sort it by start address, right? Because then they won't move as much and you can like actually click on them pretty easily, right? So click on this and then you want to go disable a few things, right? So for me, what I usually do is I disable all these set dependency threads and I also disable this and this, right? Now I'm pretty sure Windows gaming input is responsible for the ability of your OBS to capture Valorant, and I'll kind of talk about how to get around this. But yeah, I disable these, right? These don't really break any of the main functions of DWM or Desktop Window Manager. Like I can still click on my tray icons. I can still click on different things in my like what's it called? My start menu. So yeah. Now after that, I disable these two. I'm pretty sure one of these breaks tray icons. I guess not. These don't break tray icons. But yeah, you can disable these as well. Again, you should be able to use your start menu, right? But the ones that break your start menu and your tray icons tend to be these two. So, but I still disable them anyways, because I don't really care about my tray or my start menu. And there's a way to like undo all this pretty quickly. So yeah, you suspend these two. And then the last one I suspend is up here. So as you can see, there are 5 different threads called DWM core.dll, right? And what you want to focus on is like which one is using your mouse. So the ones that are going to be using your mouse are going to be like the ones that kind of spike when you're using your CPU, right? So this one and this one and this one, and then this one you can disable. So the one that's left is this one, and you'll usually have 5. If you only have 4, then you don't have to worry about this, but I can just go ahead and suspend this one, right? Because this one isn't doing anything, right? I read up on like this document as to why that's the case. I'll probably show that document one day, but yeah. Anyways, you have these 4. Now what you want to do is you want to set the affinities personally, right? CPU 0, CPU 1, CPU 2, and then CPU 3. I already did this beforehand because I run this at like every startup, and you have to do this at every startup, by the way, and I'll explain why in a second. But anyways, what essentially will break is like your start menu. So like let's say you search for something, right? You won't be able to click any of these buttons. If you have like the default, if you're just like on your regular start menu though, like as you can see, I can still click File Explorer, right? And as you can see, I'm using Sapphire OS, best custom OS, by the way. I highly recommend getting this. Anyways, yeah. Also, what will kind of like be weird is like the icon, like the full screen icon, but these still work. And also, if you try to like kind of try to do split screen, right, like on the side or whatever, that won't work either. As you can see, it breaks, right? But the way you fix that is if you kind of do that, and you just press resume all of them. As you can see, if you can just resume them and it'll fix. And that's basically how you undo it. You could just do Control A and then resume all of them and it'll undo it. Or alternatively, you can just restart your PC. It'll also undo all of this because this runs up again and again at startup, right? It'll keep like resetting itself because, you know, you're turning off your PC, turning it back on, it has to rerun itself. So, right, that won't save. The only way that will save is if you kind of go into like the stack and figure out which file it's using. Let's say it's using DISP broker, like search that file in your system and then you rename it so it doesn't run on startup. But I would not recommend doing that because I'm pretty sure a lot of these processes are necessary for DWM to run in the first place. So I would not do that. You can just suspend them from here and like just call it a day, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna resuspend these and then kind of go through, let's see here, yeah. Right, and now I would, for these, I wouldn't touch any of these. You could experiment with like disabling some of these, like you can suspend this one probably, and like maybe, actually that's the only one on this one, right? You could suspend these two, because as you can see, the context switches are low, right? So they're not really doing much, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't really see the point. So yeah, I'm gonna suspend you, and yeah, and make sure you can also set the priority to time critical for all of these, because these are the only really threads that are doing most of the work. And also you cannot disable this, by the way, because then you won't be able to use your windows. And if you suspend one of these, right, your mouse will stop working, so you have to restart your windows. But again, if you make a mistake and you disable some of the wrong ones, you can always just restart your PC and it'll be back to normal. But yeah, I think that's essentially it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I do realize I don't have any graphs for this, but just I'm going off of feel. It definitely feels a lot more responsive. I will try to get some testing done to see how much it really improves by, but I can tell there's a difference. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and comment. I am maybe gonna make more videos about like PC tweaks in general. Oh yeah, one more thing. Sometimes what happens is that essentially DWM will restart itself, right? For whatever reason. All right, you could be like in the game and it'll restart itself and like your screen will go black for like half a second. And then it'll like restart the entire process, meaning you would probably have to do this entire thing again. It doesn't take long once you're used to it, but it can get kind of annoying. It doesn't happen too often, but it can happen. And like when I in the beginning of the video, I said this was more consistent. I saw that it happened less, like it restarted less with when I was using Process Hacker than when I was using System Informer. Sorry, I cannot speak English. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I kind of want to talk about. And yeah, as you can see, sometimes it kind of just kills itself, some of these processes, and then they restart, which is also why I don't recommend disabling any of them, because it's not really going to do anything. You could set them to idle so they do less work and kind of take up less resources. And yeah, the reason why you want to do this is so that DWM uses less resources for like, or like the resources that are allocated to this program are like redistributed much more like well, right? So like you can spend more resources on your mouse input, for example, and whatnot. And also just in general, you kind of want to make sure you're allocating your resources properly on your system, right? And I can maybe make a guide on how to do that one day, though I don't really know how well that would go. Anyways, that's it. I just went on a massive tangent after I ended the video. But yeah, like, comment, give me ideas for what you want to see next. But yeah, anyways, have a good day. Goodbye.